Eyes. Eyes are very important. Eyes. Why am I wearing this? Is this the right thing to be wearing? What are these things and why do they look so funny and so silly? Looks fancy, huh? Very fancy. These are specific glasses to block blue light. I do not know whether they're effective or whether you need them, but I wanted to use them as a visual aid that today we're talking about eyes. And I have to tell you, the whole screen looks really weird for that moment. Okay, so eyes. We're going to do 3 things today that are all about eyes. We're just going to go through them rapid fire because why? We are at our computers all day long. I am on a Zoom call with you, then I hop over and do a Zoom thing with a family member and then with another colleague. Zoom, Zoom, Zoom with short meetings in between. I love Zoom. Big, big fan of Zoom. So we are on these calls a lot. What can we do to protect our eyes? I'm going to give you 2 things that you can do anytime, any place. You don't need anything for it. And then 1 possible technological solution. That's up to you to decide if it's the right thing for you. Our eyes. They're super important. We're on so many calls. Let's look at things that we can do so that we relieve the eye strain. We relieve that dryness strain of just keeping our eyes open and looking and looking. Things that are going on. When we're looking at the screen, supposedly one of the big problems is not only that we're looking and that the computer light is getting into our eyes, but also when we look at a screen, we tend to not blink. This is what tends to happen. We tend to not blink as much, and so we just aren't getting as much moisture into our eyes. I'm not suggesting you walk around and you blink, but I'm saying that there are some things you can do to account for that. Okay, here are our 3 things. Thing number 1. This is the 20-20-20, and this is what is suggested by I will tell you exactly what it's called, the American Optometric Association. The American Optometric, the American Optometric Association recommends the 20-20-20 rule. What is this? This is that every 20 minutes, you take a 20-second break to look 20 feet away. How do I interpret this? I think about this as every 20 minutes, you take a 20-second break. I interpret those the same, to look as far as you can that you can do. So maybe you step outside, maybe you open your window and you look. I have heard this explained in the way that you look as high as possible. So you look at the rustling of the leaves at the topmost trees. You try to find a bird and try to follow its flight. You look up at clouds if you can. So just really look far away. And if you want a metaphor, an analogy for this, many, many years ago, when we were all rice farmers, we would look down very close at the rice right in front of us, but then we would also look up at the hills. And right now we are missing that part of looking up at the hills. So let's do that. Let's figure out a way to keep looking up at the hills. Now, I will tell you practically that 20-20-20 is a little tricky, I find, for me, every 20 minutes to remember to take a break. And an actual optometrist that I know has given advice to my family in general that every 30 minutes you should look outside for 30 seconds or more. So we do that. We have a timer every 30 minutes. I don't do this all the time, but other people in my family do this all the time. Every 30 minutes, it's a quick break. You run, you look out the window, you set a timer for 35 seconds, the time it takes you to get to the window and back. So every 30 seconds, every 30 minutes, you're looking for 30 seconds as far as possible. So use whichever of these you like. You can go with the 20-20-20 of the American Optometric Association. So sure I'm mispronouncing that. Or you can go with this 30-30. The idea is you look as far away as possible every 30 minutes for a short time. Second thing that you can do, this is tech solutions, and actually it's a few different things. I don't know how effective they are, but I want you to be aware of the fact that you're on Zoom calls. So here are 3 ways within this category of tech solutions that you can avoid that. You can switch from some Zoom calls to some phone calls. Some phone calls on a speaker while you're walking around in a room, in outside. Which of your colleagues can you actually take the phone call on a phone? With which of your colleagues? So that's one possible thing. Another thing is, I don't know how effective they are. I've gotten them from my computers, but I'm letting you know that there's something about blue light from the computer screens, which is actually at 100,000 times more when we're out in the sunlight, but here on computer screens, and because we're there all the time, it can do possibly some things to your eyes. So the results are mixed, whether it does or doesn't. We've gotten an anti-blue screen protector for all of our computers in the house. That is up to you. I'm saying it's a possible tech solution. Another possible tech solution are these fancy schmancy anti-blue light glasses that, oh, I wonder if I can do this, that make you see the world kind of orange. Wow, first time I'm doing that. So this is what the world will look like. I first got these, sorry, they're a little dusty, when I was doing a yoga teacher training class, and the instructor there said, these are great about an hour before bed. So whatever you're doing around the house, anything, hopefully you're not on your computer, just wearing these kinds a little bit before bed. So those are 3 possible things you can do as tech solutions. Try to switch some video meetings to phone calls and walk around during your phone calls. Maybe get an anti-blue screen. I have gotten them, but I'm not sure. The results are mixed when I've read about it. So that's why I can't be 100% sure to recommend it to you. And probably before bed or at different times throughout the day, you can do this, which is similar to the screen, but it affects everything, all the lights in your house, because you're just walking around with them. Tech solutions. And finally, I'm going to show you something you have never seen before. The third thing you can do is this thing called palming. Again, what is this for? This is just to give us some pressure off of our eyes. All right, so follow me. This may seem a little voodoo compared to some of the other stuff, that the technical and research things that I've brought you here before, but I'm just giving you a tool that you can use with your eyes. So the idea of this is you're gonna warm up your hands a little bit. That's just so it feels good. And then you cover your eyes like this. So it's one hand over the other a little bit, and you cover your eyes in a way that your palm is rounded. So it's rounded over your eyes, and you give a little space to your eyes. Go ahead and do this with me. It's an experiment. We all do experiments to see how this works. When your eyes are tired, when they're a little too dry, you can do this at any point throughout the day, whenever you want. Okay, so here's how it works. You start warming your hands up kind of from the bottom, moving them all the way up here. You're just warming your hands up. And as they're warmed up, you go like this. You cover one hand with the other, and you cover your eyes. And you breathe. Wow, it's weird to do a broadcast without seeing you all. And you breathe. You just breathe with your eyes cupped in your hands like that. And you let your eyes, they're closed inside, and you let your eyes relax. It's called palming because you're using your palms. Again, one more time. You're warming from the bottom up. You're just warming your hands up just so it feels nice. You're covering one with the other for the right space, and you're covering your eyes. You can hold it there for 30 seconds. You can hold it there for 2 minutes. You can hold it there for 5 minutes if you're feeling especially tired. It's just a way to rest. So let's go through what we've talked about as ways to help you avoid that dryness in your eyes, that eye strain from being on the computer a lot. I've been noticing that I care about this. Other coaches that I work with care about this. Executives say they're on the computer from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's a lot. It's just a lot. And it's not what we're as used to doing. We're used to walking around to saying hi to people. All right, so here are the 3 all summarized. You can do a 20-20-20, which is every 20 minutes, look out the window for 20 seconds at something that's 20 feet away. My family does this as a 30-30, which is every 30 minutes we set an alarm and we look for 30 seconds. And that's advice that we were given by an optometrist. At something that's far away, like the tops of the trees or following a bird's flight. Tech solutions can be that you switch some of your colleague type Zoom meetings, at least maybe even half the hour of the Zoom meeting is by phone and the other half is by Zoom. The first half by Zoom and the other by phone, or the other way around. Another tech solution is to get a blue screen for your computer. Again, the research is a little mixed, but I figured, hey, it can't hurt. So we've gotten blue screen computers. And the third part of the tech solution is to get one of these fancy schmancy, putting it on for the third time, kind of glasses that block out the blue light, not only from the computer, but even from the lights in your house. And the recommendation is to wear this about an hour before you go to bed so that your body is ready for bed. Those 3 tech solutions. And finally, this very unusual to you probably, I love it, this technique of palming and covering your eyes and having your eyes closed and giving them a rest. Thank you for being with us today. I realize this is a little bit atypical for what we usually present, but we are on the computer a lot. And how can we help you in that way? Great to be with you today. Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. We're here every day, Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific. All the best and see you tomorrow.